in the end, there can be only one. And I came to the conclusion that the best fit would be the Apex. Now what I'm going to do in this video is explain why I ended up getting the Apex and my thought processes behind it. And I think it's important to understand this is just my opinion. It's just the way my mind works, the way I look at things. So, you know, I'm not putting one product above the other. It's important to understand both the GHL Profilux 4 and the Apex will both do roughly the same job. They'll do it in slightly different ways, but they are both really good pieces of kit. So you know, no matter what one you get, you're onto a winner. But I just want to let you guys know my thought process behind it. Now, both of these units are up and running. I know that's only a doser, but the same principle applies, okay? So they're both up and running at the minute. The difference is, to get this one up and running, I basically had to assign it an IP address. So you have to, it won't really do anything on its own. You have to almost program it on DOS or drop down boxes for it to connect. With this, it's pretty straightforward. You kind of plug it in and it starts doing its own thing. Now this is really early days with the Apex, and I've spent a lot more time searching on Google and watching YouTube videos with the GHL, so the conversation is going to be slightly towards the GHL, but just bear with me. So this connects easier than what that does, just to use, just to do the basics. But on YouTube there's some great videos for this, and without them I wouldn't even be getting it to work, I don't think. And I mean that, like literally so many people where they're like, oh, I just can't get it to work, and I can understand why, because you do, if you're not savvy with a PC, you can come into some problems with this. This is slightly different, this will sort of connect. But with that being said, when you buy the Apex, there's a card in it, which is a basic setup card, and you go to it, you know, you type in the URL, and it will send you to a website that helps you to connect the Apex. It's not, in my opinion, accurate. It's for the old Apex, and so you start going through it and certain things pop up on this website that are not even relevant. So okay, it's not a disaster. You then go to like another forum, help, and even that, the updated one ain't great. So the online instruction, and this is early days, so don't jump on me. I know there's a lot of Apex lovers out there, but you know, it's like supporting a football team, I suppose, but just bear with me. The instructions are useless. I mean, people say the instructions are bad on the GHL, but the videos are amazing. But yeah, this was horrendous. But it just did its own thing. I mean, one of the instructions was make sure you do the firmware update before you do anything else. You can't do a firmware update until it's connected. So you have to connect it first before you can ever do a firmware update. So, you know, there's stuff like that. But with that being said, this thing just ticked along. The Apex, really, you know, it just ticked its own boxes. Just like, you know, if you were setting up a phone for the first time, you know, it was as easy as that. If anything, the instructions made it more complicated. I should have just plugged it in and just gone from there. So there's that. Setting them up, that is easier than that. That though, the Apex, if you go online, there are a lot more scare stories with Apexes crashing in people's tanks. It is what it is. Obviously it's brand new, I don't know what it's going to do, but it is what it is. There are plenty of them out there, and I don't want anyone telling me otherwise. With a GHL, not so much. But there is something to take into account. These sell these, I don't even know what the number is, but it's massively. Apex is a much more popular brand than the GHL. So there's more of them in the wild. So by default, there's going to be more scare stories. So you almost, for me, I ignore that. Like what one's more reliable? It's irrelevant, so to speak. They've both been around for a while, so the bugs should be pretty much sorted. So you're looking at service. That has a much better community around it because they sell more. GHL are a strange company because obviously, alright, so I was thinking of buying a GHL. They went on holiday for 2 weeks, so you couldn't buy any Profilux 4s. They weren't taking no tickets for 2 weeks because they're all on holiday. You wouldn't get that from Apex. Okay, it's a smaller company, but I don't see Apex doing that. Also, in the UK, we have a distributor for Apex. I think they're ITC. GHL, there isn't one. So you've got to go through Germany, so to speak. You can't go, there isn't a UK distributor, as far as I know, for GHL. You cannot go into a shop and buy a GHL doser. Maybe doser you might be able to, but definitely the Prophylax 4 you've got to order them. And if you want to get a level sensor, if you want to get the float switch, they're all to order. Apex, I went into a shop and bought everything you're looking at. Everything you see there, I just went into a shop and bought. If I wanted to get similar for the GHL, it would have to come from Germany. But wait 2 weeks because we're on the summer holiday. You can do similar functions with both of these, as I said in another video. The difference is with the Apex, they have modules, and the modules on the software, a lot of them are self-set-up. So you just click on a button, and look, I don't know if these are going to work yet because I've not set anything up on it outside of the fact that I've got my Apex Fusion running. It's plugged in, and it's sending me emails saying my salinity's off because nothing's set up. But at least it's sending me messages. If you try and get email messages from the GHL, although you can, if you just go on the forums, you'll see what I mean. It's not as straightforward. With this, you just press a button and it will send you alerts. I've been getting them a lot, so I need to turn it off. But everything is more complicated on this than it is for that. That's just my opinion so far. As I said, these, so let's see what we've got, just to explain. So with this will sort out any, basically it's for any leaks, but you can also have optical sensors on it. So for water heights, that is probably going to be plug and play. I'll just plug it in, it will ask me some questions and it will probably work. I mean, and this is basic use. I know with the Apex you have to code them, but that's for more advanced work. I already have this ATK, and again there's an extra couple of ports on there again for leak detectors and optical ports. And that will probably be plug and play. There's another optical sensor there. The GHL probably will be plug and play because of the way the drop down boxes work. There's definitely less actual programming to do on this. But I just don't see it happening as easily. I'm going to be totally honest because this video is probably going on and you guys are probably thinking I've not actually showed you anything exciting. But I wanted to go with a GHL, I really did. I mean, look at that, and the Prophylax 4 is the same. Just it will have a little blue screen there and some arrows. Compared to that, you literally can't compare the two. Also, which is quite key, is the GHL, the plug bar as power monitoring. In the UK, we're still stuck with the old plug. So you know when you check online and you see the pictures, they've got the silver and orange plugs, which are the newer ones that were supposed to come with a 2006, but for some strange reason Apex can't make a 240 volt plug bar. Really difficult apparently, really hard. But GHL, which is a European company which will run off of 230, 240 volts, 230 actually, can make, what is it, the States, 110? They can do a 110 because you can buy GHLs in America with their newest plug bar. UK you can't get, or Europe, we're stuck with the old plug bar. And so I really wanted the GHL. There's something about the Apex. Look, I watch a lot of YouTube videos and I'm going to be totally honest with you here. The way the company is, I'm not impressed with. I've seen people try other aquarium controllers and quite big YouTubers in this world, and there's an Apex guy that Neptune guy always jumps on the comments, and he's quite aggressive and quite, you know, basically putting other products down and trying to sell his own product. And you know, look, if you're into this hobby, you'll know who I'm talking about. And he's high up in the company. He should have better things to do than to be jumping on a YouTuber's channel and you know, putting another product down, like the new, I think it's the eCoral program computers coming out, or is out in the States. Check some of the videos on that, and this guy just jumps all over him, and it's negative for the brand. It's not good. It's not the right thing to do, and I'm really passionate about stuff like that. But when push come to shove, I had to decide on what was going to be easier for me to use, where could I just get parts from, and a UK supplier, and it was the Apex. And then I went to the shop, you know what, like I always get my stuff from the shop, I'm not going to say who it is, but, and you know, I have honest conversations with them, and the person was like, get the Apex. with GHL, they go, just go on to any forums and see how many tickets are still open. So although people talk about GHL majoring in customer service, and kind of, you know, same with the Apex, but literally, if you do check deep enough, there's quite a lot of outstanding tickets. And I thought, actually, these guys have been on holiday for 2 weeks. That doesn't sit well with me. So although this is a rambling video, I hope that I've explained why I went with where I went with, or what I went with. My heart, I really wanted this. But in the end, I had to go with this. And so that's where we are with it.